Hey guys, this is Mafia97 and today I have the Corsair AX860i power supply. This is the high-end power supply from Corsair. There are three variants, 1200 AX1200i, AX860i and AX760i. So I have opened the box and the first thing I find is the manual in the box. Let me show you this. Let's keep the box aside as that's a quite a big box. The manual is in 5 or 6 languages. Shows what you get in the box and the various connectors that the power supply has, how much efficiency and load the power supply can handle. So let's have a look at the box, the power supply. So very nicely packed by Corsair. As you can see, this is a modular power supply. Modular means that you can attach or detach any cord you require or don't require respectively. If you don't require multiple Molex connectors, you can remove the Molex wires. If you require the Molex connectors in future, then you can use them. What this does is you can efficiently increase the airflow in your cabinet. If there are lesser wires, the airflow would be better in the cabinet. So modular cabinets, modular power supply are always better than non-modular power supplies in terms of efficiency of airflow in the cabinet. Let's check the wires later. First, let's have a look at the power supply. So guys, this is the power supply. Very nice looking power supply, quite heavy. Build is quite sturdy. And let's look at the power reading. So as I told you in my NTech video, that latest ATX 12V version 2.3 power supplies have very less than 160 watt on the 3.3 volt and 5 volt rail. This shows 125 watt, so this is a good power supply which follows the ATX 12V 2.3 version standards, and it supports all the latest motherboards and connections, and has very less support for the prehistoric computers. It has 859.2 watt on the 12 volt rail, so quite strong power supply. It can be used in high-end builds. Let me focus on the power reading. You can see. So here are the modular connectors. If you require any PCI if you require any PCI cable, then you can install the PCI cable. If you require peripheral and SATA cables, you can install them respectively. The motherboard cable, obviously you will require that one. These for multiple GPUs, etc. One for CPU, so one would be utilized definitely if your CPU has an inbuilt GPU, and then you won't need a GPU. But external GPUs are recommended for a gaming PC or a high-end PC for which this power supply is made. The power supply can self-test also, so which is a great thing to have in a power supply. If there is something wrong with the power supply, it would be notified using this slide. Now let's look at the cables. the cables of this power supply come in this nice pouch or package. So these are the cables. These are the Molex cables. Via this we can connect it to the back of the power supply, and you can utilize the cables. Then here's the power cord. I think this is a 24-pin motherboard cable. Similarly, these are the 6+2 PCIe cables. As you can see, there are a lot of cables, so if we install all the cables, there would be very less airflow in the cabinet. But if we install only the few which are required, then the airflow would be quite efficient in your cabinet. That's why modular power supply give you the option to remove the redundant cables which are not being used in your cabinet, which is quite good. So lots and lots of cables, as you can see. Here we have the binds. Very nice of Corsair to provide the binds to maximize airflow and keep the wires in check on your cabinet. Very nice from Corsair. I think this has a sticker too. Let's see what is this. Nah, nothing. So let's check the power supply again in a bit. So guys, the power supply unit, I will show you now how to connect the cables to the modular power supply unit. So I have this 8-pin cable. I'll insert this here. Okay, sorry, I'm doing the wrong side. I will insert this here, and this side will install into the CPU. Very easy to use, and saves up on the space if you don't require redundant wires. Obviously you require the CPU wire. Also, I want to tell you that all the wires on the Corsair AX860i power supply have this protection or shield around them, which protects you from unwanted short circuit or currents, which is very nice and recommended in all the high-end power supplies. So very good to see from Corsair in the AX860i power supply. Also, this power supply has a 120 mm fan, which is very very quiet and efficient in cooling. So you don't require a third party fan to cool your power supply. Okay, now I want to tell you about the COM port. The COM port is a new thing by Corsair, in which a cable connects from the COM port to a USB dongle, and the dongle then connects to the motherboard. You can track the power supply, power efficiency, etc. through a software by Corsair, which can read the data via the motherboard and this COM port. So very nice thing by Corsair, and definitely required in the high-end gaming PCs. Also, now I want to tell you about the self-test button. First you gotta do is connect the power supply to a power source, then press the self-test button. If the fan starts spinning and the light goes green, then you're good to go. If the fan does not spin and the light goes red, then there's some problem in your power supply, and you should contact the Corsair customer support. So guys, this was the Corsair AX860i power supply. Very nice power supply, definitely recommended for the high-end gaming PCs. I personally want to use this power supply instead of my TX750V2 Corsair power supply, but definitely because it is modular and I want to maximize the airflow in my cabinet. But alas, I can't currently shift to a new power supply. Maybe in the next build I will use this power supply or the next AX version from the Corsair. So this gets a thumbs up from me. Very nice power supply. Guys, if you are looking in the market and looking for a modular power supply for your high-end gaming rig, definitely have a look at the AX860i power supply. Thank you and have a nice day. Hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe and share. Do the basic job. Thank you guys and have a nice day.